Hello, welcome all. Currently, we are experiencing an unprecedented situation of pandemic, and the known reason is coronavirus, and which is causing a pandemic across the globe. The entire human race is facing a problem, big health related problem, and the reason is the virus or coronavirus. Not only the kind of viruses, but on regular basis also we experience and come across different kind of health diseases. Some of the things I have displayed here: health diseases because of allergy, headache, chronic pains, disabilities, so on and so forth. A different part of bodies may undergo a severe problematic situations. Having said that, there is a cure, there is a ray of hope, and that drug and pharma. And who makes or who synthesizes, that is the pharmaceutical industry. So welcome you all to today's lecture on pharmaceutical or drug industries. This will take through you the different aspects, some basic fundamentals, classifications, definitions of the ingredients, roles, then a brief history probably we'll look into, and then at the end we'll look into the rather prior to that we'll discuss a brief unit processes and unit operations in pharma industry, and then we'll importantly discuss some of the important drugs which we use in our day-to-day life. So when I say there is a ray of hope, let us understand what is drug. A drug is a particular thing which is also known or referred as medicine, medication or medicament. So a drug is used to diagnose, cure, treat or prevent the disease. Or in other sense, we can say drug is a chemical substance that interacts with a living system and produces a biological response. Some of the examples and known medical products or trade names are just displayed in front of you. Before discussing more in detail about the industry, let's look into the status of this industry from national and international perspective. So Indian pharmaceutical industry or Indian pharmacy industry has played a very important role since its uh, inception in the global arena. Today, Indian pharma industry ranked third worldwide for its production by volume and 13 by means of its market or revenue value. That is 10% of world's production by volume is done in Indian pharma industries, as well as which has 1.5% of the value of the total pharma industry in terms of revenue is concerned. It's a prominent and rapidly growing pharmaceutical industries in the global arena. It is the largest provider of generic medicines to the world. Of course, it occupies 20% share in global supply by volume, and almost 50% of global demand of vaccines is being supplied or taken care by Indian pharma industry. And we all know the today's situation of the pandemic. India is playing a crucial role in terms of as a supplier of important health related medicines across the globe. Almost it has supplied the health related medicines to more than 100 countries across the globe. Of course, at the same time, it is a source of 60,000 generic brands across 60 therapeutic categories. There are different categories that we'll discuss a little bit in later stage of this presentation. It has 500 different active pharmaceutical ingredients. Like rather, it manufactures more than 500 different API grade pharmaceutical ingredients. And recently, as a part of Pharma Vision 2020, Government of India through Department of Pharmaceuticals aims to make the country a hub for end-to-end drug discovery. India plays a leading role in innovation and incubation in the pharma sector. It hosts 3,000 pharma companies with a strong network of 10,500 manufacturing facilities across the nation. Not only that, the domestic market turnover is reached almost $20 billion, which is 9.4% more or greater than what is achieved in year 2017. In 2018-19, pharmaceutical exports were worth 19.13 billion, and which is grown up by 10.7% compared to the previous years. The already mentioned, it is the third largest pharmaceutical market in the global arena. The cost of manufacturing of the pharma products in India is approximately 33% lower than that in United States of America. Apart from that, it has few interesting statistics like 20% of generic medicines export shares, that is in terms of volume, 11.9% contribution in overall exports, 70% generic drug revenue share, and 21% medicines are patented drugs, which contributes to the revenue share. That's how India plays a vital and important role in the global arena. So these are some of the important pharma giants at national level: Sun Pharmaceutical, Aurobindo, Lupin, Cipla, Dr. Reddy's, Zydus, Intas, so on and so forth. They make India proud at the global arena in the discovery, synthesis and manufacturing of several kinds of API drugs. Not only that, these are some of the world's biggest manufacturers or leading manufacturers, pharma manufacturers: Pfizer, Roche, Johnson & Johnson, Sanofi, Merck, so and so. And if you see in this slide, almost every industry is progressing every year in terms of their market revenue and market cap share. That makes the pharma industry an important sector in the arena, in the different or under the umbrella of chemical industries. Now let us look some other statistics which I already discussed, and we'll quickly glance through it, how the revenue of Indian pharma sector has changed for the last 5 years. Then the sector wise, the different type of drugs which are used, maybe anti infectives, cardiac, gastrointestines, anti-diabetic drugs, so on and so forth, and their market share in the year 2018, the exports and the expenditures on the health in the Indian context point of view. All the key trends and statistics are presented here. At the same time, some of the government initiatives in recent times, which is for the mass benefit of the society, the Pradhan Mantri Bharatiya Jan Suvidha Pariyojana, Pharma Vision, National Health Policy, Ayushman Bharat, so on and so forth. These are some of the initiatives in terms of boosting the pharmaceutical sector in the Indian context. Now, being said, the drug, its importance, its market statistics, so and so, let us understand who plays an important role in terms of synthesizing or discovering the drugs. A big question comes always: who discovers the drugs? Is it doctors? What is your answer? Let's look into that particularly. There are several players which plays an important role. A biologist or pharmacologist which identify the biological target or the enzymatic routes and their systems and their mechanisms. Then the chemist who validate and do the further studies. Then comes the chemistry and pharmacologist in order to identify and optimize the lead molecules. Like in today's context, if we are looking into, there are several countries playing a role in terms of identifying a cure or vaccine for the COVID-19 virus, and a lot of these players are playing an important role. Chemists and pharmacologists for preclinical studies, then formulations, that is again pharmaceutical sciences and scientists plays important role. Clinical evaluations where medical fraternity plays an important role. Once the drug is synthesized at the lab scale, then it has been trialed and its clinical evaluation, whether it is effective, not effective, those studies are been done, and once it is been final, then there comes a role of chemical engineer to produce them at the larger scale for the betterment and for the benefit of the society. So these are the different players which plays an important role in the discovery of drug. Different ways of classification of the drugs. Some of the things what we discuss can be put together in a simplified fashion. There are sampling of classes of medicines can be then classified as antipyretic, anti-analgesic, anti-malaria, antibiotic, antiseptic, mood stabilizers, oral contraceptives, stimulants, tranquilizers, statins, so on and so forth. Some of their brand names or some of their trade names are being there given here, and for some of the classes their function or their important features or significance is being given in this particular slide. The another way of major categorization of pharmaceutical agents is also depicted in this table, which we give a broad spectrum of different kind of pharma products which goes in the market depending on the disease or health ailment and the cure for the same. For example, central nervous system point of view, analgesics, anesthetics, anti-convulsants, so on and so forth, narcotics, then the skin related, respiratory system related, biological response modifiers, then analgesics, blood modifiers, so on and so forth. There are different categories. The more specific details of classes and categories are given here. Having said that, let us get an idea how drug is manufactured or what kind of different unit operations and unit processes broadly takes place in a pharmaceutical industry or in the manufacturing of pharma products. The first stage is the manufacturing of the major ingredient or pharmacologically active substance. So it can be a chemical substance that undergoes direct synthesis and then can be converted into pharmacologically active substance, which can be considered as a drug, or it can be a microorganic root cultures, then by a fermentation the active ingredients are produced, or from the vegetable or natural animal tissues they can be used and the active ingredients can be extracted. Of course, sometimes the fermentation products can be extracted and the extracted important products can be used as the important ingredients or active ingredients, which can be then used as it is, or they can be put together along with some other ingredients as a part of formulation, and then they are sold in different forms, maybe in terms of syrups, drops, vials, or maybe in terms of paste, ointments, sometimes in terms of powders, capsule, granules, tablets, so on and so forth. And once it is been taken care, then it is washed, remove the dust and send for the packaging operations. Sometimes depending on the type of product, there is a mixing, there is a combination, there is the freeze drying operations. Then there sometimes has to be different mechanical operations which are generally adopted in the pharmaceutical industries once the active pharma ingredient substance is obtained, and in order to get the formulations, grinding, then the mixing, then the platelet pressurizations, the powders are kind of say sometimes crushing operations of the active ingredients to be homogenized or mixed into the formulations. These type of different mechanical operations takes place into the industries for getting the final shape of the product. Now let us look into the important before getting into that, some of the things just being more magnified just to get a brief idea of the slide which we have discussed in the previous slide. The first is the production of the pharmacologically active substance, different routes and different ways we have discussed, and then it goes the different stages of preparation of the pharmaceutical products as we discussed: syrups, drops, vials, paste, powders, ointments, so on and so forth, and up to the packaging stage. Now we'll look into the some of the important pharma products and their synthesis, and some cases we'll look into the industrial or lab scale manufacturing procedures. The first important product we would like to look into is the paracetamol. Paracetamol is also known as acetaminophen. It is chemically known as N-acetyl para-aminophenol or APAP. It is widely used as a analgesic or pain reliever and antipyretic, or to reduce the fever kind of problems or health related problems. Paracetamol is classified as a mild analgesic. It is already mentioned as used for headaches or in case of cold and flu remedies. Nonetheless, if you take the overdose of paracetamol, it can cause fatal liver damage. So one need to be very careful while taking the proper doses under the proper guidance of a doctor. Let us look into the ways to synthesize the paracetamol. There are 4 different routes: phenol route, para-nitrochlorobenzene route, nitrobenzene route, and para-hydroacetophenone hydrazine route. Amongst them, one of the phenol routes at lab and at the industry scale we'll discuss. So for small scale industry, synthesis of paracetamol is prepared by 3 reaction sequences. First, nitration of phenol with the sodium nitrate, which will give the 2 types of isomers, and out of which the 4-nitrophenol is the important ingredient which further goes for the reduction followed by formation of the desired product. So in this case of the first stage, it is the electrophilic aromatic substitution reaction where phenol's oxygen is strongly activating, and thus reaction requires only mild condition as compared to nitration of benzene itself. And subsequently the nitro group is then reduced to the amine groups, giving 4 aminophenols. These 4 nitrophenols get converted into 4 aminophenols. This reaction is accomplished in presence of sodium borohydride as a catalyst, and then these amines then get acetylated in acetic anhydride in presence of acetic anhydride, and this gives you the final product that is the paracetamol. Let's look at the chemical reaction. Phenol in presence of HNO3 produces the two different isomers, out of which the first ingredient, which is important, undergoes the process of reduction and it produces the amines, and these amines further undergo to produce the paracetamol. So O isomer is removed by steam distillation and the P nitro group is then reduced to P amino group. So this is removed from this reaction and this group further gets reduced to the amines and these amines get converted into the paracetamol in the third stage of reaction. That's how the paracetamol is manufactured at the laboratory scale. At industrial scale, the Ausklenses was the industry who has utilized the phenol acetylation route in presence of acetic anhydride, and the HF is used as a catalyst. Of course, conversion of ketone to a ketoxime with hydroxylamine, and this hydroxylamine in presence of acid catalyzed Beckmann rearrangement gives the amides, and then subsequently that amides gets converted into the paracetamol. So phenol in presence of HF catalyst gets converted into the aminophenols, for nitrophenols, and then this gets reduced in presence of SOCl2 and amylase catalyst, and paracetamol is produced at the industrial scale as a large scale product manufacturing. So that's all as such in sense of major chemical unit processes in terms of paracetamol manufacturing is concerned. We look into another product that is of importance is aspirin, is also known as acetyl salicylic acid. Is a synthetic organic derived from salicylic acid. Salicylic acid is a natural product found in the barks of willow trees, and they are being used by the ancient Greeks and Native Americans for the treatment of fever and pain related problems. Later on, a German chemist, Felix Hoffmann, is been credited in order to synthesize the aspirin as an classical or a proper drug. Of course, there is a big history that we can quickly go through these discussions. What we'll look into is the main chemical reactions. So reaction that is used in the synthesis of aspirin is given as below. So in presence of excess of acetic anhydride is treated with salicylic acid in presence of H2SO4 as a catalyst. So mixture is heated to form the acetyl salicylic acid, and acetic acid is further produced as a part of the process as a byproduct. After reaction takes place, water is added to destroy the excess acetic anhydride, which cause the product to crystallize. This product is crystalline, and aspirin is then collected, purified, recrystallized, and of course, in order to get its complete conformation, melting point is one of the parameter measured based in order to confirm the formation of the product. And that's how the aspirin is, or acetyl salicylic acid, is manufactured at the laboratory scale. The another process which is used what we discussed previously at the lab scale or at the industrial scale, which quickly gives us an brief idea of a batch manufacturing of aspirin and a broad idea of what kind of unit operations and unit processes which takes place in order to synthesize the aspirin. So recovered solvents are taken here, and then excess of acetic anhydride, salicylic acid, they are put together less than 360 Kelvin temperature for 2 to 3 hours. The ingredients are mixed or put together for the reaction, and then once the reaction time gets over, the product is taken and then it is put into the another reactor, which is where they are kept at the lower temperature than the reaction temperature for 16 hours. And as we have discussed earlier in the previous slide, that here the acetic acid is removed, excess of acetic anhydride is removed by washing with water, and then once you decrease the temperature, the product gets crystallized, and from then the crystallized product taken, which is washed with the solvent in order to get rid of the byproduct and any acetic anhydride which is left out in the crystallized product. So stages of solvent extraction or solvent treatment is been done. Of course, here acetic acid is recovered and solvent is recovered, which is taken to the recovery stage, and then again from the every stage the solvent is removed and recovered, taken to the next stages of operation. Once the final product is obtained, it is dried in the rotary dryers in order to get rid of the solvent traces, and the final aspirin crystals are then sent for the further formulation and packaging applications. So reaction is bit exothermic and then heat is to be. So the another important product is penicillin. So penicillin, sometimes abbreviated as PCN or PEN. So it is a group of antibiotics derived from Penicillium fungi, which includes penicillin G, that is intravenous use, or penicillin V for oral use, or procaine penicillin and benzathine penicillin for the intramuscular use. What I mean to say is the penicillin is a group of antibiotics, and depending on the active ingredient, the different product or class of penicillin has a different application. Penicillin G for the intravenous applications. If it is a penicillin V, then it goes for the oral applications. If it is the benzathine penicillin, then it goes for the intramuscular applications. So here penicillin core structure, where R is the variable group, and that forms the different types of penicillin. So this R is a core structure, R is the variable group, where rest is the basic or important core structure of penicillin. Depending on these different groups of R attached, it gets classified as a G, V, or benzathine penicillin, so on and so forth. Based on that, it is antibiotic goes for the different. So of course, the penicillin antibiotic were among the first drugs to be effective against many previously serious diseases such as bacterial infections. All penicillins are beta-lactam antibiotics and used in treatment of bacterial infections caused by susceptible bacteria, that is typically gram-positive organisms. Several enhanced penicillin families also exist and effective against the different type of bacteria. They include anti-staphylococcal penicillins, aminopenicillins, and more powerful anti-pseudomonal penicillins. These are above and more and large than penicillin G, penicillin B, and other groups of penicillin which used for the different type of gram-positive bacterial infections. Let us look into the lab scale manufacturing of penicillin. So by now you might have got an idea when we are discussed into the drug synthesis. There are different routes, animal routes or the microorganism routes, and through fermentation the microorganisms produce the important ingredient. Similar kind of one of the ingredient we discuss as a part of pharma industry or biotechnology product, that is a GFP, which also undergoes a unicellular bacteria undergoes the fermentation process and produce the fluorescent protein. On the similar line, this penicillin also produces a useful product which we'll just discuss as a different stage. So medium, of course, in order to grow this penicillium microorganic culture, we required an medium, that is a corn steep liquor that contains the sugar or lactose, that is the energy source, some yeast extracts for the nitrogen ingredients, pH buffer to maintain the proper conditions for the growth of the bacterial cultures, and some minerals. And all these ingredients and the starting culture of penicillium is fed to the batch fermenter, where the favorable conditions, pH, temperature, concentration of the sugar levels, concentration of the yeast extracts, so on and so forth, are maintained properly, and it is expected in 6 days 10 times the growth of this original culture will take place. Of course, some of the culture is kept again for the further fermentation, and some culture is almost 30% culture is removed and 30% fresh culture is maintained, and whatever is been removed that takes first as a rotational filtration stage, which we have discussed also in one of the part of the GFP manufacturing. From that you find out, you remove the fungal cells, and the waste is fed for the animal feeds or for byproducts, and the major ingredients then filtrated, dissolved in the butyl acetate. From that potassium ions are added to precipitate the salt of penicillin, then they are washed, filtered and further dried, and that gives you almost 99.5% pure penicillin. From penicillium bacteria you are finding out, or you are taking out an important ingredient, that is a penicillin. And of course chemical and enzymatic modification take place to make the different type of antibiotic. What here we get is the core structure of penicillin, and depending on what we have seen in the previous slides, the R group which keeps on modifying and can be treated with other type of enzymes to introduce the other functional groups. The modification takes place in order to make the different type of antibiotics or penicillin antibiotics. So the resulting penicillin is called penicillin G, can be chemically and enzymatically modified to make variety of penicillins with slightly different properties. This semi-synthetic penicillin includes penicillin V, penicillin O, ampicillin, amoxicillin, so on and so forth, which are the different drugs is prescribed by the physician and we take for the antibacterial or for the bacterial diseases. So quickly to go through the quick snapshot of the process: a medium of corn steep liquor, a byproduct of the starch manufacturing, yeast extract, other substrates are added to the fermenter. After 40 hours of mixing and keeping the ingredients under the fermentation, penicillin begins to be secreted by the fungus, that is Penicillium fungus. The mold mycelium, that is cell matter, is filtered out, from which the penicillin is being secreted. Then this penicillin extracted is then treated with solvent butyl acetate, in which it is dissolved, then treated with the potassium salts in order to precipitate from the above mixture and above solution. and then that precipitate is washed and dried and sold as a penicillin G. So industrial manufacturing of the penicillin, we'll just quickly look as a little bit that what we discussed was a lab scale. Here it is a little large scale. So penicillin is generated on large scale in commercially devised fermenters with an optimum growth situation to penicillium cryptogenium for the maximum outcomes. That is, the inoculate 100 ml medium is put into 500 ml flask. Then the spores or the penicillium strain is added and incubated at 25 degrees Celsius and kept it in the rotating shakers. After 4 days, the capacity is grown to 4 liters, having the 2 liters of medium and 2 liters of incubates after 2 days, and then subsequently it is transferred to the 800 liter capacity, where having the 500 liter of medium, and this tank is equipped with the manner as a 500 liter capacity of a fermenter as good as, and after 3 days the contents are then further added or taken to the 1080 or 180,000 liter medium fermenter. Of course, the fermenter has net capacity of 250,000 liter, and that is how what we have just discussed, the important stages. The same stages takes place, but only thing is that at the method which discussed previously was a lab scale. This one is the industrial scale production. Once the final product is obtained, the filtrate has the penicillin, and then the exact penicillin into amide or butyl acetate, or this is extracted in the solvent, and then the treatment with the phosphate buffer is done, and then from the butanol water mixture it is added, crystallize the potassium penicillin, and then once this penicillin is produced, it is taken for the further stages of manufacturing. So this gives you a quick snapshot of industrial production of penicillin, what we just discussed, the lab scale, then shaker at 25 degree, then transport to the larger vessels of 4 liters, then the seed tanks and the fermenter tank of 500 liter, then filtrates are removed, and then it is taken for the purification, then it is extracted with the butyl acetate, it is added with the potassium salt, then the third extraction is done, and at the end potassium penicillin is obtained, and then it is taken for the crystallization, and that is how the different types or the crystalline penicillin is obtained by following through the different stages of industrial unit operations and unit processes. The important other ingredients, if are there to be studied, will let you know, but this is for the brief about pharma industry. Thank you.